Can we just move the camera? It's just... Oh, I can edit this bit off,
you
maybe.
Can put all the cards on that side.
Yeah.
Marker!
Straw.
Sting!
And together we are...
The...
Battle.
Hammer. And stick.
No, unfortunately for you, mate, you are actually part of the Battle
You're
Hammer.
officially a hamster.
No, you may be worried, sitting there at the moment, seeing us three wise monkeys like this. Yeah.
Wank no evil.
I'm not going to do a cripple joke just yet, that would just be
don't do
wrong.
that.
Right, what we want to do today is, I mean, it's Steamcon...
Get drunk! No? Oh.
No, it's Steamcon next week, isn't it?
Is it next week?
Next
Or a
week. Next weekend.
Next weekend. Crikey.
When, obviously, all the new cards will be available to get grubby hands on.
Sweet.
But what we thought we'd do is just go through and give you our first thoughts, as it were, on the new cards that we've seen so far.
Yes.
So we're going to start with Minks.
Yep.
So then, guys, first thoughts compared to how good she used to be. I thought she was awesome to start with anyway.
Yeah, I think a lot of people really liked her. I think seeing things like Screaming Banshee's now -1 defense with the fact that she now does snared as well. So on a charge, which you can do for free, you're probably going to get a Screaming Banshee, which will do damage and -1 defense, and then you'll do snared, so they're now -2 defense, which is redonkulous.
Oh yeah, Hunter's Prey when damaged by the end. Oh yeah, snared.
Yeah.
Still charges for free, which is good.
Still gets her a longer charge.
Damage target, yeah. I liked. She's now got back to the shadows.
Yeah.
So she's in and out.
She feels like Hunter.
Yeah, she
definitely
does.
feels like
She
Hunter.
definitely.
With access to snared and back to the shadows, which up until now have both been Hunters.
You're gonna hate that.
things.
You're gonna hate it.
Fucking
even
horrible.
more.
But then she also does more damage on her playbook as well. Lower down.
One tackle and one there as well. 2 and a dodge. 2 and a dodge and momentum. Ooh, on 3. And then, oh, they've
Double
shifted.
dodge.
A double dodge there with 2 points of damage.
Yeah.
Double dodge there with 3 points of damage and a point of momentum.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think.
Or,
or the Screaming Banshee.
yeah.
I think.
But they're
key
both on 5.
Key for me is that 1 momentous damage and a dodge on 2. You know, when you're, let's say you've hit the charge to begin with, and then you've still got 2 left on it. You know, you're looking at them being -1 defense, so you're probably going to get.
Oh yeah.
Well, you can do your
minus-
Screaming Banshee on the charge, aren't you?
Ideally -2.
Slam that on.
In theory, you're looking at
If you
the
get it.
the 1 and a dodge. I mean, you're looking at earlier in the playbook for the kind of standard stuff. So then you can do 1 and a dodge, 1 and a dodge, and then get a 4-inch dodge to get out of dodge, as it were.
Okay! So she comes back with 12 hit. Yeah, 12 hit points. So
It's kind of averagey. Which comes
everything,
back
all
on
the stats
6.
the same. So, yeah.
And
Everything else
She's
is.
kept Mark's target and damage target, I think, is the other one. So she gets extra. So she's still good at kind of getting hold of those people who have just come on the board or who are a bit out of the way or things like
It
that.
doesn't look like they've got who she plays for anymore.
I've noticed that on a lot of them.
Yeah, I
So
think.
they've removed selective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was talk on the forums about it being now that because you can only take 1 Union player, you know, will we see you can take basically any Union player?
Okay.
Like anyone can take anyone.
That's
Interesting.
interesting.
But now the rumour mill has changed, and now they're saying that they've effectively going to put selective into a separate document, so that when new teams come out, let's say. Like when the Hunters came out, you already had an idea of who the Hunters were. We don't know who can play for the Farmers. Like, we assume that no one apart from new people can play for the
I
Farmers.
reckon Taters can.
Well, yeah. So that way, rather than changing the cards, they can just change a base document when new teams come out and say, well, this, you know, these can play for these teams. So if a new team comes out tomorrow, they don't have to change all the cards.
Yeah,
Makes
that makes sense. That makes sense.
So I think that's more likely what they're going to do.
I still like the other option, where any one single Union player
True.
can play, because they're all ultimately in the shadows, aren't they?
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter. They've all got the same hidden agenda, if you like.
Okay.
As we're talking about Union, shall we go straight on to the big Union one that dropped like first thing this morning?
You mean Blackheart?
Blackheart. Literally this morning, or in our time. Obviously, it'll be different in your time.
So, let's start at the top, shall we? Are his stats any different? I thought that was Ratchet then. I was telling you, a dick. Okay, 5-7 for that. No, still same.
No, it's 4-6. He's got a slightly lower move
Oh, he has.
by an inch.
Well, he should have all that armour he's running around in.
Yeah.
The bastard. Kick's the same. Defence is the same. Armour's the same. Yeah. Influence is the same.
Yeah.
This is where it gets a bit interesting now, doesn't it? His playbook.
Yeah.
I mean, originally he wasn't that manoeuvrable, but look at him now. If you look, there'll be a card somewhere on the screen. I mean, look at those double dodges.
I think for me it's that 1 and a double dodge on 2,
That's
which is now
lovely.
wasn't momentous before, but now is.
That's right, yeah, that is.
And he doesn't do 2 damage on 2 hits anymore either. So, you know, you're less likely. I mean, and having that combo that you had originally, either 2 damage or 1 and a double dodge, is a really important thing. So you can manoeuvre yourself and do a bit of damage, or you can do slightly more damage. And it's just so versatile. It's like too versatile. Do you know what I mean?
And 3 points of damage and a point of momentum and a double dodge.
Oh,
Ugh.
ridiculous.
But I was just looking at this, and the misdirections dropped by to 2, hasn't
Yeah,
it?
misdirections dropped to 2, so you're going to see a lot more of that. Because 4, it costs 4.
And it doesn't say it's once per turn.
Yeah, because it's ticked. Because they've got the tick boxes.
Oh, right.
So it is once per turn.
Phew, that's just as well. Butchery.
Yeah, no commanding aura has butchery instead, so you can get extra damage from him, but you focus it on a player. And I think that's that. He was just becoming a little bit of a
tank.
He moves into the centre of the board.
He kills
does
people.
Commanding aura. Everyone else gets bonuses. And from reading their blog post, it was quite interesting. They said, well, that's what Rage does. So why have 2 people doing the same thing?
Yeah. So he's got butchery. And on my mark,
Yep.
which is target friendly model, may immediately take a pass action without
Yes.
spending influence.
Yes, indeed.
Ooh, that's a bit.
So it's kind of like one-touch football. You pass me the ball, so I can go over here and take a shot and goal.
Oh, where's the back of his bleeding card gone? Bear with. Fool.
You put it somewhere else, have you?
No, it's in here somewhere. It just didn't save it with it. Next, there it is.
Still got Shadow-like.
Yeah.
So although he's lost an inch of move, it's not the end of the world. He's still got an 8 inch.
It's legendary's the same, isn't it?
I believe so. Well, it's now only a 6-inch pulse instead of an 8-inch pulse, which I think is fair because it was overused. I think.
So he's not the hardened, full-on motherfucking killer that he was. He's a little bit more,
Tricksy.
a little bit more
interesting.
tricksy, dodgy, stabby you to death,
And more football orientated.
which I think we're gonna be seeing that a lot, aren't we?
Yeah.
For this season, a lot more kicking ball because it's a football game.
Interestingly, I think Blackheart hasn't been straight up nerfed either, because I mean misdirection now only costs 2 instead of 4, so you're more likely to use that. You know that 1 point of damage and a double dodge on 2 is really powerful. You know, yes, he hasn't commanding aura, but you've got to take these things as a balance. You know, it's like yes, he's not as good in some places, but he's better in others. And I think having spoken to Matt about their design choices, that's clearly something they were planning on doing.
Well, it's nice to see he's not as stabby, deathness.
No, he's not as no-brainer as he was before. I think he's more interesting, which is fair. He's still got 3-2, which is pretty good.
And that worked quite nicely with the new model.
Did he have damage and a knockdown? Still.
Did he have damage and a knockdown still? I don't remember.
Yeah, he does all the way at the end.
Yeah, 3 and a knockdown and momentum.
Yeah, so he can still do some nice damage if need be.
Yeah.
And what's
So
it?
he's still got butchery, so if you want to focus on someone and get rid of them, you can.
And he's only on 6 influence.
He was before.
He was before, wasn't he?
Yeah,
It just always seemed like he was loaded up with a lot more when I played people. Right then. So that's
I
all.
think he's going to be really interesting to see, and I
don't think he's going to be as bad as he was. Because when he turned up, he didn't want to play.
No, yeah, that's right. He's very versatile now.
Yeah. Shall we try the big fella?
The mighty Kraken.
Release it!
Release my Kraken.
Oi, release your Kraken. So, well, the first thing you notice is the defence.
Defense 3 armour 0 instead of 2s and 1.
Well, let's face it, you look at the model, he's not meant to be an armoured tank,
No.
is he?
And they seem to be going that way with most of the 2 defence models. I think Stave's the only one that's still got a 2. Oh no, Fangtooth will still have
Bear?
And
the
the bear.
yeah.
Everything else looks the same there,
Apart
doesn't
from
it?
2-6 kit because it wasn't a 1-6 kit.
Oh!
Which makes sense.
Well, he's
because
now
a
learned to play
fish.
football.
Yeah.
Okay, what have we got on that old playbook then? Sir, I can't see a bloody thing. So, Momentous knockdown on the front still. That's the interesting one, isn't
Yeah.
it? The double push.
Non-momentous double push on 2 hits.
Guild Ball still on
Very
3. And then
Momentous double
a
push.
momentous double push on 4.
I can see him working a lot better with, what's the guy's name? Jack now.
Yeah.
Because getting that double, you get the knockdown on the first hit, you get the double push on the second, and then you can manoeuvre them into place ready for
They're
Jack
going to get
do his
people
pushes.
against the fish now, going to get pushed and pulled loader shot.
Yeah. Well, it's still only Kraken, it's not a general thing in their team, it's mostly him.
And Jack.
Is he the one with the heroic that shoves you 4 inches back?
That's Jack.
That's Jack.
But I think him and Jack will now work together.
So he's
quite
got Drag as a character play.
Yes.
This is basically Harpoon.
But interesting the name change because we're wondering about. We've actually been talking about this kind of since way back when because a lot of people don't like chain grab, and I think it's. I would have always preferred it if it was the same as Harpoon because yes, it then costs 2, but you're more likely to get it off. Whereas I think that chain grab's one of those things. If you can get it on the first hit, then you can you've still got 3 hits left, which is a bit too good. On the other hand, you can keep missing, and then you waste all your influence. So it's a bit of a risk-reward thing, and I wonder if it will then chain grab will become drag. So, because it's funny how people complain about Gutter having chain grab, but no one complains about Kraken having Harpoon or
Because he doesn't get any hits back from it.
No, that's it.
That's what a lot of it boils down to.
So I wonder if that's then going to happen if we're going to see Gutter with
Once a turn.
drag instead of
But once a turn.
yeah, totally.
Release the Kraken is still the same,
Aye.
which is handy, I suppose. And Tough Hide.
Yeah.
So, much of a muchness, really. It's just hits, I think.
I think he's on the same, and I think he's on half hits for his
Yeah.
20 hits.
Yeah,
halfway
that's the
up.
same.
Generally speaking, we're going to be looking at half their hits being their icy sponge because of the way the icy sponges have changed. If it's more or less than that, we'll probably mention it.
Right, let's do Stick's favourite one, shall we?
Boo!
And the one Parker loves.
My favourite is actually Minks at the moment. I think she's
Minks, new Minks,
she's
I think we're going to
bonkers.
see a lot of her floating about.
Yeah.
And she fits really well within the Hunters.
true.
So, the bear. What are the differences then, Sticky boy?
Fuck
The difference
me.
You better
is-
look at this.
He now instead on his stats are all the same at the top, but he now his tackle on 3, his tackle and 1 momentous damage has now been swapped out to 2 momentous damage.
Oh. Got
But,
a bloody momentous push on 1.
Yeah, he has.
Didn't he have a momentous tackle as well or something like that?
No, he didn't. The tackle was the same as it was before.
Fucking tackle on top.
But then he had a.
Has he got a shorter playbook now?
He has a shorter
Yes.
playbook by 1, yes. But on 5, he used to have 3 momentous knockdown, 3 damage and a knockdown, which I think he still does.
Here, it's 2. 2 momentous
2 damage.
knockdown.
Yeah, so he's lost the damage there.
Ooh.
And the last column for 7 that he used to have, that's now gone, used to be a momentous knockdown and a bear hug.
Oh.
So he's lost that.
So he's lost the knockdown off of the bear hug.
He has.
Just out of the playbook, what I find really interesting is his 3 damage on 4 hits,
Yeah.
and then 2 and a knockdown momentous on 5. That's the first time we've seen a low damage go up, or a higher damage go up to a lower damage. Do you see what I mean? Because you go like 1, 2, 3, and then back down to 2.
Oh yeah.
It's the first time we've
1,
seen
2,
that.
3, 2, 4.
But it is an interesting thing because of that 2 plus knockdown plus momentum.
What do you-
Exactly. Yeah.
It's
a choice.
against the choice thing that Matt was going on about.
On the so
Is his bear hug the same?
It's Bear Hug, yeah, but they've now just indicated on there that you get the VP for it, rather than having it on the back of his card.
Hit point still 21.
Yes.
He comes back on 11.
Yeah, which is effectively half. So
Yeah.
So-
What's on the back? Tough hide.
Tough Hide's still the same. Furious still the same. Isolated Target still the same.
So the other new one, obviously for him, is Intimidating Roar.
Yeah, which is awesome.
What's the matter, Porky? He can't snare ya.
at the beginning of his turn, 2-inch push directly away.
my life.
Oh. Is it one enemy model or? Let's choose an enemy model within the model's melee.
So basically, people, if they want to keep him engaged, with 1-inch melee, have to stack 2 on him.
So bad, so bad.
That's going to be a little bit harder to,
Really,
to pin that bear down
As
now.
much as I hate it, it is actually a really good trait, and it does fit really well in with the bear. You know what I mean? The bear
But then-
goes, "Whoa," you go, "Oh fuck!" You know?
I also think that now, because of that, he does more damage lower down, slightly less damage higher up.
Yeah.
But he has a shorter playbook, so the wrap is going to be more handy. So people are going to tie him up more.
The only trouble is I can see if you keep getting the wrap and you like get a 2, you're like, oh, great, I've got blade knockdown or a tackle. And if you've already knocked them down on one of the higher ones,
But then you potentially wouldn't, would you? If you got a wrap,
Yeah,
you could take the 4.
Yeah.
You could take the bear
or the
hug,
bear hug, yeah.
or you could take the 5 if they're snared.
Oh.
Because snared, the damage for snared doesn't apply to bear hug.
Oh,
Because it's a character play, not a playbook
Ah,
damage.
so
as well.
yeah.
So you got a choice: bear hug 4 damage, momentous, or 5 damage with the snare.
But you pair.
Minks.
I know that Minks.
Minks.
Yeah.
And then at -2 defense, so
Uh-huh.
base 4-1 model is now 2-1.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. But I now think because of that you can now free them up easier. I think people are going to start stacking some momentum on him.
Yeah.
Because if I push you away 2 inches, but you've got a 2-inch melee on me, I'm still engaged. I
Yeah.
can't do anything. However, I've got a push on 1.
Interestingly, as we were talking earlier on about Blackheart changing up the football game, I know it's a captain, so it's only one captain, but you know we're talking about the football game being pushed.
Yeah.
Does that mean that people like
Was this kick
Cena,
1-4.
who is that good at combat? You know that's all cool, but then you're thinking, well, if he's going to do a load of damage, I need to focus on scoring goals.
Mhm.
So if you focus on scoring goals, which you now can a bit more because of various things lodged throughout all of the teams.
Yeah.
If a combat player is more powerful, but all the football players are more powerful, then would you say that creates then an internal balance throughout the game? Do you see what I mean?
I'd say it's for some play styles, yes. For people like Spuddy, who truly don't like to play football, no, that's going to cause major imbalance. But ultimately, when you go to these tournaments, you get people like, I remember the first time I played Corsair Fish. I was like, aha, they're just going to run around me. I'll go straight into them and smash them.
Oops.
I went running into them and I was just laid up on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think having stronger fighters and stronger football gives just more choice, which was what they were after.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think the balance is now going to come down to the players. It's more along the lines of, are the 2 players balanced in skill?
Yeah.
Has this person got an IQ? Is this person licking windows? Yeah? And then no matter what army, what teams, no matter who they take, that's where the balance is going to come from the people.
Oh, I was picturing Chris licking a window. Oh, there's a gift.
Well, you mean like sleeping on the way to Yarmouth?
Lolling about.
Okay, so that's the bear.
Yeah, that's the bear done.
Okay, so let's do harmony, shall we?
Yes.
Now, I don't really know a lot about the Masons, so I
Nor
couldn't
do
tell
I.
you a huge amount
So
about
we'll make it
them,
as we go along. So, the picture's the same.
Yeah.
Stats are the same.
Yeah.
Playbook's interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Playbook's the same length, but they've added a couple of bits in.
They've given her choices, haven't they now?
Yeah.
So instead of just, because here, it used to be if you got any more than one, you only had one thing to choose from.
Yeah.
Now you got multiple choices.
Yeah,
Like,
so you get to there and you get the 2 points of damage
momentous.
and momentum,
Or
or momentous weak point.
is that momentous? Is it?
Yeah, it's coloured around the
Because
edge.
she now doesn't
Oh,
have
right, okay.
Scything Blow. But I don't think a lot of people didn't use Scything Blow.
I'd never use Scything Blow on anything anyway. So yeah, she's got weak points, so it's -1 armour. Acrobatics the same,
No, it's not.
isn't it?
No, it was.
Oh
+1
no, it's +1 defence. It's now dodge. Oh, that's a
Melee.
And it is once per turn, so they can't like just boink.
boink. 4 damage. That's interesting. 2 points of damage and weak point.
Or 3 points of damage.
Whereas on this, on the original, it was only the Guild Ball, Scything Blow, which
Which was 3 points of damage, wasn't it?
yeah.
So now she's still got that option as well. So she's still kicking out the same damage, just not to multiple people.
I think
people.
the change to acrobatics really interesting. How it's doesn't change parting blows. It's now straight up 2-inch dodge, so she can get.
This is what I find interesting for her. Is they've given her back to the shadows.
Yes.
So now she is in stab.
They're
Down.
enjoying that, aren't they?
But it fits with her play style. She's meant to be a winger. She's meant to be able to zip in,
I know.
do.
I'll be honest, I think that's an amazing play, because that's how I love to use Yekar. If he goes charging in, gets the ball, doesn't manage to kill the person, even though he can't score, he can get out of the way.
Yeah.
And go back to the front of her card again. If you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I don't mind. Wrong one.
Because I wonder if that weak point and 2 damage on the charge is quite nice on her 5th result, because then you can get the charge off, get that, so then -1 armour, take 2 points damage, and
But then attack's only 3. That's the thing.
Yeah, we're assuming that she's
7
got.
dice.
We're assuming that she's got a combo off of her sister.
Yeah.
But if she can get that, then that jump in, do a little bit of damage, get the -1 armour, and then get the 4-inch dodge out.
Yeah, and then smacky. Family honour is at the same. Yeah.
Oh, it's got a longer range, isn't it? Within 8 now instead
Yeah,
of 4.
it's 4.
Yeah, very interesting.
Ooh.
Makes her considerably
protection brick. Yeah, that's the same. And back to the shadows, which is lovely. It's a nice little skill, that one.
From what I've heard of, I mean, I don't play Masons, but from what I've heard of a couple of Masons players, is like, I liked her before, now I love her.
Oh yeah, so talking about her attack only being 3, that's kind of irrelevant now.
When that range is 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's always going to be able to pick off someone that's going to have a high attack of 3, because that's everyone but a mascot.
She's got to be within. It's honour.
Within honour, yeah.
She can only take from honour.
But still, she's now that much more likely to be within range of honour.
Yeah.
That's true.
So yeah, she's really nicely done now, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, booby. Oh, sorry. Childish. Right, who else we got? That's not anything in particular, isn't it? Right, let's have a little look-see back at this. Oh, let's do Ratchet, shall we?
Ratchet?
Oh, Ratchet.
Okay.
Ratchet McRatchety-roo-roo. Having just started playing the Engineers and using a mostly, well, all mechanical team apart from Ratchet, who I use, I can safely say I haven't jumped on the bandwagon because I was using him anyway.
Yeah.
Because he is awesome.
Yeah, so good now. Really, really strong.
So the stats are the same, aren't they, Stick?
He's a 5'8" now. He was 5'7".
Oh,
So he's got a longer charge.
That's handy.
And he's got an extra attack as well.
Oh, even fucking
4, 6,
better.
3, 1,
And he's
2,
got a
4.
longer playbook to match.
Yeah, so the playbook, what's interesting there? The 2 and the push is quite nice.
Yeah.
Did he have that before?
No, he didn't.
No, he
He
didn't.
had a very different playbook.
He had a very
He had a rubbish playbook before.
Yeah, I've never used him for the playbook shit.
He's got
And
knocked
he's
down.
got knocked down
now as well.
Shit, the actual bed. And then, oh look at that, a 1 point of damage, point of momentum, and a double push. Oh, I didn't notice all of them.
But his tackle has gone up.
Ooh.
But he's got a high attack, so I think
He
that
has,
balances out.
Oh, I've got a little bit of sex wee. Oh, and then importantly, he's got tooled up.
Yeah.
Boom.
Has he lost Fixer?
That's on the
He
back.
has,
mate.
but it's a different thing.
Oh, it's on the back now.
Long bomb.
Still
Long
got
bomb has
that.
now changed. It's
Yeah, it has
Yeah.
changed. It's the same. Is it?
No.
Oh
what is
no,
the
it's not even the
now?
distance anymore. It's self.
Yeah.
It's done on him.
Yep.
Because oh,
+4 to her.
+4 to the
range.
kick, so
It's
his kick was now 10, which is basically what it was.
But only during the pass. You can't
Yeah.
do it during a shot and goal.
But it cannot be intercepted.
No. Which is awesome.
That means good or bad,
Yeah.
friend or foe, cannot be intercepted.
Snapshots. I'm just thinking snapshots all day from like,
Oh.
a 10-inch snapshot.
But no, it doesn't work that way. It was on the pass, wasn't it, only?
Yes,
Yeah,
pass.
it's a pass, but you can get the snapshot off because you pass to a
Yeah, but
person
you-
within 10,
Oh, right,
which can't
yeah.
be intercepted.
Oh, you don't mean it...
No, you don't
You-
mean him
you
doing
mean-
it.
No,
You-
passing
the-
to
Oh,
from
I
him.
thought you were talking about the striker being
No.
10 inches away.
Blast Earth. That's the same. Yep.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hits are the same. Let's get to the fun bits. Fun bit. Oh, wrong one. Hey, computers and technology. Right, Fixer.
Is now a trait and not something you have to spend points on, so it just happens for free.
And it's all once per turn. Remove all conditions from target friendly model within
From
4.
one model. Remove all conditions from one model.
Well, that's the same.
But it's for free.
Yeah, it's for free now. That's the main thing. This is interesting now, though. Overclocked.
Yes. May sprint or charge without spending influence, and they don't explode.
And they don't explode. There is no explosion left in it. That's gone. And he's got 2 heroic plays because creation of mainspring has now gone into heroic.
Yeah, because
It was
a
just
trait.
a trait. I
which
think
means it now only costs 1 momentum point if it's a heroic, which it used to cost 2, I believe.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Interesting for those that can do creation. How does that affect the mascots?
I think they used to come. I think when they come back on, they come on an icy sponge, and now they'll come on full.
They'll come on full.
Yeah. So it's quite good for the end of the turn if you want to get them on.
But they're still not worth any VPs, are they? If they go off a second
Yeah,
time?
yeah. They're now worth 1 every time you take
Every
them
time.
out.
Yeah.
So
Which is
that,
better than nothing.
Yeah. But it
see,
now means...
I still, it's all very well and good, but I still don't use mainspring, so yeah.
No, but that heroic, the overclocked.
Overclocked,
now,
yeah,
so
without exploding.
good. Yeah.
God, what that on velocity? Watch her go!
And then still having all that stuff left.
Yeah.
You know, having points left
And you could
afterwards.
overclock her.
Yeah.
And then get Pin Vice to do the extra move on her as well.
Oh yeah.
And Pin Vice, and all of a sudden velocity go.
Which I think actually suits the engineers because as a play style, you know, there are certain things you need to set up, if you like. You know, you need to get, right, if I put this on them and then that on them and then do this on that.
I think the engineers have got an amazing team.
Mm.
They can kick out some damage.
Yeah.
But I think they're really good at putting people in places they don't want to be,
Yeah.
and then going through where they want to be.
Yeah.
And playing football.
But
Yes, they
to
can
me as
play
well,
football.
it suits the engineers, that building up something. You know, you're
I fucking hate their kicks. Every
Oh.
fucking kick is ridiculous. Even my best player.
Someone
doesn't
should
even
tell
have
that to
kick
Spuddy!
You know what I just thought as well?
Oh, well done.
So Ratchet's got
Herpes?
he's got his character trait. So let's say Colossus is there. You've got him on 4 influence. Oh man, Colossus got 4 influence and you've just knocked him down. Oh no, that means I've got to get him up. And right, well, so now Ratchet goes. So we'll remove conditions, so you're back up. Then we'll tool you up for a point. Then we'll use our heroic, which gives you a free charge. So suddenly you've got a free charge. You've still then got your 4 points.
Where'd you get
on
free
them
charge from?
because of the overclocked. They now can charge without spending influence. So then they've still got 4 influence or whatever. So that's some really interesting combo stuff with him.
It is, but then that would mean that the other person's gonna have to
Yeah, then,
dedicate time
Yeah.
to knock them back down.
Which is good because
Yeah.
he can soak up a lot of damage.
and then there's that kind of back and forth.
Yeah.
But I like that with the engineers. It feels like you're building something. You know, you're setting up a thing
Yeah.
ready for later
Yeah.
on.
And I think that's the way each of the team's styles does reflect that, doesn't
Yeah.
it? And speaking of styles,
So,
let's go on to Meathook, shall
Yeah.
we? Who's never had any love, bless her.
No.
Well, now she's getting a lot of love.
Oh yeah.
she's getting a full-on love glove.
from her friend Philet.
I can honestly say I think I've used her once.
Yep. Oh yeah, she was the first butcher figure I painted.
She's gained in armour,
Yeah.
but
That's
her
not
influence has now changed.
Yeah, she was on
She used
1-4 and now
yeah.
she's on 2-3.
That's better, isn't it?
Certainly is.
Still got a nice move, nice tack.
Mm.
3-6 kick, defense 4, armor 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So what's the playbook like compared to what it were? Well, I can see that's moved, the Guild Ball symbol.
Yeah. And her double dodges come down as well.
Oh.
Still got a lovely momentous tackle because for some reason all the butchers have momentous tackles.
That's a double push actually, isn't it?
That's a double push. That's a double push with damage and a point of momentum.
Yeah.
And that's a single push with 3 points of damage and 2 points of damage and a tackle.
That's moved up. She had that before.
I don't know, I've never seen a card. Don't normally. Ooh.
It seems like the Guild Ball symbol and that have swapped over.
Ah. But yeah, that's.
Scything Blow. Interestingly, she's kept Scything Blow, although
Did she have it
Harmony
before?
lost
She
it.
did have it
Yeah,
before.
she did.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. And she had tooled up, didn't she? So because she was the only one that had it, wasn't she?
Yes.
So that's interesting.
Which she's got, and I think a lot of that way they've done that is people who had access to tooled up will still have access to tool up for various things.
This is where it gets a bit interesting, though, isn't it? When we turn her over. Boom, boom. So she's got Smell Blood.
Yep.
That's a new one, isn't it?
No,
That's an old one. Okay,
Same.
cool.
+1 damage to playback damage results,
Suffering
They're
bleed.
bleeding.
Critical artery.
which gives
She
her
had.
bleeding. And
Did
-1
they
defense.
finally decide how you can do that? Can you allocate the bleed first, or do you have to allocate the damage to cause the bleed, and then the second attack you can take the additional
I
damage?
can't remember. They have covered it, but I can't remember what it was because I don't use her, or I haven't used her. I probably will now. Hooked is quite nice.
And
Yeah.
the model
-1
suffers
defense.
damage from the playbook. Damage result from this model.
Minus
And
one
-1
defense.
defense.
So, even though everyone else has, even though Minks has only gained Snare, it seems like there's so many changes to reduce defense now.
Can we just see the front of her card quickly again? Because I think, yes, I can see her working really well with Boar because of those pushes. So someone engages Boar, you send Meathook in to push him out of the way.
Then he
she's
gets
got
his
nice-
charge. And she tools him up.
And then she tools him up, and then they're -1 defense.
Yeah.
And then Boar goes, and now they're out of range, so he gets the charge with tooled up.
Oh.
And they're bleeding.
And they're bleeding as well.
Oh, that's
I can see
rude.
that being nice.
And what's her heroic? Is that a new one? Was that
no,
normal?
that was
That was old, was
cool.
it?
Has it changed at all?
I don't believe so.
4, 3-inch
So
pulse.
3-inch pulse. If
No,
anyone's
it has
suffering bleed.
changed. It used to do 8 point of damage.
Alright,
It doesn't now.
now it's just -1.
So it's basically Hooked is her new thing, isn't it?
Yeah, Hooked is the big one, and I
And
think the
her
other
playbook.
And the playbook.
and her
Armour.
bringing 2.
Oh yeah, she's
influence
gained
as
an
well.
armour as
Yeah.
well. Yeah. And
Yeah.
influence is a massive thing.
That's huge. So we've done Blackheart and Ratchet and Harmony.
At the moment we've got
Who have
these 3 left,
Right.
and I think we should give the
Oh,
give them
Coet.
some love.
Yeah,
Let's give Coet lots of love.
right in the face.
Everywhere. All down her little belly buttony bit there.
Now she's interesting for a lot of reasons, but as we will cover, I think the implication is the way that her character has changed will perhaps suggest things for other characters. As in Harry the Hat, I think, has got crazy, and who else has got crazy? The little fella.
Agreed.
Did Minks have crazy? No, who else got crazy?
Emo.
Fucking hell.
Chisel. Yeah.
So she hasn't lost any attack, but she's lost 2 off of her playbook.
Good.
Her playbook is significantly
Yeah,
shorter.
because the only way you could get to that was when
Was
you were going
crazy,
crazy
yeah.
all the time, and that just felt like
It didn't feel like a bonus.
it didn't. It really didn't. So she gets. These are the same. Is that the same?
Yeah, that's the same. So the first 2,
Lost that one though.
first
whatever
3
was there.
columns. No, it wasn't there. The first 3 columns are exactly the same.
Oh right, and then we get.
Now this is when it starts to change. You've still got your 3 damage, but you've now
Momentous.
got a momentous push dodge
Oh.
as well. And then, but there is now no longer a double push.
No,
That's gone.
but we get 4 points of damage.
Yeah, which is there.
Oh,
And
Screaming Banshee,
momentous.
which again -1 defense, 2 damage.
Yeah, it used to be -4 move, but it's now defense.
Yeah, it's completely changed. Completely changed. Love the new Screaming Banshee.
Yeah.
Like, you want to get that off because I never used it normally for the move. It was just like nah. But now that'll be getting used all the time for the charge.
Especially she's on 7, 8, 9,
But then
10, 11 for the charge. So yeah, you should be getting that.
They-
off for
they
the
see-
How are
charge.
you on 11 for a charge?
crazy as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Forgot about crazy.
But it seems like they're changing all this move stuff to damage.
Yeah.
Sorry, to defense changes. However, they're also improving the strikers, which is now going to make it a lot harder to shut people down. Because now you can't put that -4 move on people because it's not a move modifier anymore.
I wonder if it's going to be more of a it's going to be a
More of a bloodbath.
well. I think it's going to be just a quicker game.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be scoring points quicker, either through goals or takeouts. You know, you're going to be like
rather
stuff's
than
happening.
spending an entire 3 or 4 turns. What's the score? No.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Why? Because I'm trying to score, but it keeps stopping me.
Your difference.
Assist is now no longer a range thing. It's in engage, isn't it? It's the same as a
but
dog.
it's +1 damage, which
and
is
+1 tack.
+1 tack.
So it takes more setup because you can't just have the bird floating about.
Yeah, you got to
But
get
in a way, that makes sense to me. That makes more sense because it's not a buff of like ooh. It's
the bird being
the
there
bird's
pecking your face
pecking
off.
your face, and you're going and then you're sticking a knife in your guts.
Yeah, that's. I mean, Crazy and Furious are the same, but yeah, that's. It means you've got to get the bird in, which you don't. Which now you can do because you can bring it back.
Yeah,
you
and
know.
you're only losing the one VP.
And yeah, so. As I said, I've always tried to use Cossack because she's lovely.
One thing I did
But-
notice is the front of her playbook. She's on 12 damage. Oh, sorry, 12 hits.
Yeah.
But she comes back on 8, so she comes back further than half up her playbook.
That's interesting as well.
Which
Yeah.
is fairly
Which
significant.
is why Matt Hart said it was about how resilient they see the players.
Yeah.
So
Because when she was coming back
Because
on the first
especially
one,
if she's coming
4.
back and doing crazy immediately.
Yeah, it was pointless. You'd
And
be,
then
you'd be down to
be-
1 hit point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just doesn't work. But oh,
Is lure any different? I think that's the same, isn't it?
lure to a.
I think it's exactly the same, isn't
Once a turn. Once a turn.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So-
that's one of the things I've always liked about Coet is yes, you've got the. She is that kind of almost schizophrenic kind of character in that she's got the charge and the couple of infants to just go in there and start carving shit up, or she's the ooh come and look at my boobs, you know. She's got that
And,
kind of
and now
thing.
you're a bit closer. I'll have my free charge. Stab, stab, stab.
Yeah.
You were looking at my titties. Stab. That's the kind of thing I've always wanted to try with. I've never managed to pull it off. Stop it, you bunch of perverts. Okay, so that's Cossack.
think this one.
Wonderful. And I still love the picture as well.
yeah, and I think that it reflects the fact that if she's coming back on more hits, she is resilient. Crazy, and yet
Yeah.
she's still here.
Yeah, that's
You
it.
know, it's like you don't fuck with a psychopath, just like you don't fuck with a Russian's vodka.
yeah, that's right.
Okay. Yeah.
So you've got another fairly
So,
big one here.
another
Yeah.
slut. Go.
Speaking of women who
Hashtag team whatever.
have, hashtag Team
I-
Brisket.
Brisket.
It's the only way to be.
I haven't actually read any story yet.
Pretty nice. Good.
No, I don't know where it is.
I noticed that they're changing a lot of the female characters, which is quite interesting because of these certain players that say, "Oh, a male can't hurt me." Yeah, trait male or whatever it is. Yeah,
No,
So-
it'd just be crazy.
yeah, bitches be crazy.
Philip, as we know, she's a bitch.
Yeah.
And we hate her.
I've seen, before we go into too much detail, I've seen the changes for her and I've kind of looked at, and I think she's been toned down rather than nerfed, and I think that's a nice thing. She's still strong, she still can do what she do, but she's not fucking ridiculous anymore.
Okay, so stats are
The same.
the same. Playbooks, fucking tack of 8. She's a
I
little
know.
girl. Fuck
I
off.
still don't get the tack of 8 when Ox, who's supposed to be the hardest dude in the world,
She got a playbook of 8 now, though.
7.
no,
7 still.
So she's still.
So what have they done to that? These look all the same. 1, 2, yeah. 2, the thing in a widget.
They the only thing they've changed is that
Is that
the
one?
double the
double
Mantis
guild
skill
ball on
ball
the end.
symbol.
Ah,
So they've now given you a choice rather than 4 damage.
you've got the choice of doing that or blood rain. Ugh.
Yeah.
Okay, so well
So-
you can see because it'll be up on the screen, so you can see that the playbook is
Quickfoot's the same.
yeah.
Yeah.
Pain circle.
I think.
2/8 AOE 3, 1 damage
Yeah.
and bleed.
Yeah. Models entering or ending at bleed. So yeah.
Blood Rain.
Blood rain.
Pulse 3, 2 guild ball symbols,
Yeah.
2 damage and bleed.
Yeah.
That's it.
So she does a lot of bleed, doesn't she?
She does do a lot
she
of
always
Which
did.
probably means, here we go, blood dance. So, enemies,
See if
anyone
you-
bleeding, she gets a 1-inch dodge.
Yeah, still the same.
Is that even on that's on AoEs as well?
No.
No, with an attack or,
Ah.
character play. Yeah, so it would be the AoE.
With a playbook damage result. So it's
Oh,
not.
they've
now-
changed that now.
Yeah, so you can't get it off of Blood Rain. That was
Yeah.
one of the big things that you could.
Because
You
she
could
was
do Blood
doing
Rain and then dodge into someone else.
and like, yeah, it's,
And
oh,
also,
yeah.
it used to be a little bit confusing when it said attack, so
Yeah.
you couldn't do it on the charge.
Yeah. Yeah. So smell blood. Is that the same?
Smell blood, 0-2
Yes, 'cause it was the same
move,
with Meathook.
Yeah.
and 1 damage to playbook results.
There gets bleeding. Yeah.
Yeah, still the same.
Hemophilia's very different.
Hemophilia, 6-inch aura here.
Assisting to alright.
But it was, as I recall, it was they can't remove bleed, I think.
Yeah,
This model heals 1 hit point for each model within the aura
Yeah,
that
you
suffers
couldn't-
bleeding.
you couldn't remove bleed in the main at all
Oh, that's right.
during the. Oh, sorry, no, you could remove it, but in the maintenance phase, it didn't go away.
And that, I think, was one of the big things for a lot of people, in that you could fill it in at the end of a turn to do a bunch of damage, then everyone's bleeding, and then start the next turn. Normally
It's
bleed would
still
go away,
bleeding, yeah.
but it doesn't, so then she's getting all of her bonuses for stuff being bleeding as well.
Yeah,
Oh, that's completely over the top.
Yeah.
where it's gone now.
Yeah, and exanuate is that the same?
Extenuate.
think
Enemy
it's the
models suffer the bleed condition within the pulse immediately.
Suffer another 3 condition damage. Ugh.
So she's still really powerful. She hasn't changed a huge amount, but it's little tweaks that I think have, like the change to Blood Dance, so she doesn't get the dodge off of. Because people would say, well, no, she can't get around unpredictable movement. It's like, well, that's because it's unpredictable movement.
Yeah.
It's like a thing that's supposed to be what it is. You know, if you can just
Although-
get around everyone's stuff, then what's the point?
How many fucking strikers need attack of 8?
Oh, I
still?
know, she's still ridiculous. She's still really, really powerful.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Who came up with Philip? Who was it?
I don't know.
Find out who it was. Put it in the crotch box because we're going to hunt them down and slap them.
Can I?
Oh.
What's her hits that she comes back on?
She comes back on 8.
14 comes back on 7, so
7.
yeah, that's
So she's-
halfway up.
Slap bang in the middle. Yeah.
No armour.
She never
Defense of 5.
fucking doesn't need it.
No,
Yeah.
because whoever goes up against her is dead.
Because
Yeah.
there's the whole thing if you give Boiler gives her swift stance, putting her up to 6s.
Oh,
as
just
a base.
go away. No, that's ridiculous.
I mean, she's still powerful. I just don't think she's as bonkers as she was before.
I think she. Well,
I don't know, mate. She
For-
looks
for
pretty
damage
fucking bonkers to me.
the only difference now for her is the fact that she's not going to bring back the bleed.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
main one.
that's the only difference. But if you activated her first and then just caused bleed, and then you fucking sent Meathook in there as well.
Oh,
Yeah, so she's still
a whore.
Oh, she's
a
still well.
monstrous
yeah.
amount of damage.
She is still monstrous, but that's
So she is a whore. That's what we're trying to say.
on the
aren't
charge. 12 fucking dice
yeah,
for a little girl.
yeah.
That's insane.
4 is the only
No.
other person I think with attack 8.
we? No. Shut up.
So the girl has more fucking power on the attack than the fucking giant bear does.
Well, yeah.
Ridiculous. So, which
Was
So
brings
for the big
us.
one,
Finishes
Well,
it.
there are others. There's Tapper and that, but they're the. But we don't like those ones.
this is the most interesting
But this
change.
is the most interesting change. So I'm going to just turn this so Parky can talk you
As
through
an
this one
alchemist's player.
because he is an alcoholic. Oh, alchemist!
Yeah. No,
It's obviously the man with the golden fudge packet.
With the golden fist.
It's Midas.
Oh, Midas. So, his space stats, I believe, are all the same. Instead of 4/7 influence, he's 4/6, but I think that seems to be an average thing that they're kind of lowering that extreme amount of stuff. His playbook is almost completely different. Still does. I mean, I think everyone does 1 damage on 1. He's now got a momentous dodge on 1, which I quite like.
Yeah, like he needed that.
Well, his playbook. It's actually got a tackle on 2 instead of 3 now, which is nice. It's got an slightly earlier tackle, but his push dodge is now no longer momentous.
This all makes sense as to bring him into football.
Yeah. His Guild Ball result isn't till 3, but since True Replication's gone, that kind of doesn't really matter. Still does 2 damage on 4, but it's now momentous.
That's a good one, that.
Yeah, double push, double dodge on 5 hits.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Ridiculous. And he's got a knockdown on 5 instead of 6, which is nice. And then all the way at the top, he does now 3 damage, which he never did before.
What did he do before?
Only went up to 2.
But how come you're smashing out all that damage with him? You've been cheating.
No, because of his heroic play, which gives you +1 damage.
Whatever. And is that 2?
A 2 and a push dodge, which was on
Momentous.
5 and is now on 6. So that's interesting. He's lost True Replication, he's lost
Heavy Burden.
and
Clone.
Clone.
He's just-
all of those.
he's
Oh, he's lost Clone!
Yeah,
He's lost every single character play he had, but
Well,
he got a bunch of new ones.
He has. So what's he got? He's got Super Shot.
Super Shot, the classic that everyone likes.
Yeah,
+1,
great.
+2.
So he's now an uber
he's
striker.
now 410.
What's this Lure of Gold then?
So Lure of Gold costs you 2, range of 6. You can do it off of a guild
Gibber.
result, and you can effectively jog a friendly player within 6 inches towards you, not directly towards you, towards you. So as
they've
long
got
as they finish closer to you than they started,
So they can move away round as long as they come in back.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Or they can kind of meet you that way, because they end up closer to you
from their starting position.
so you can move.
That's an
but it is a
interesting
jog,
one.
not a dodge, so you can't get people out of combat, but you can still move people around, which is quite nice.
If that was you, it'd be Lure of Beer, wouldn't it? Like,
Yes, it would.
Fucky! And the Midas Touch.
And Midas Touch, also off of 1 Guild Ball symbol. Can't spend points to do it.
Target enemy model gains a burden token.
Yep.
When a friendly guild model makes an attack against an enemy model that has a burden token, the friendly guild model may remove the burden token and gain +2 net hits.
Yeah.
What?
So that's an interesting thing, because it's not singled out, because you don't get +2 dice, you get +2 net hits. So if someone goes in, think of those people who are, I don't think armour, I think armour would cancel it out, but think of those people with like really high defence, like say defence 6. You roll your dice, you completely miss, well you've still got 2 net hits. You will always get those 2 net hits.
I don't think armour will cancel it, will it? I thought you calculate net hits after you've reduced the armour.
I am not sure.
Because you take away all your negatives to find out what you're left with.
Yeah,
And
I'll have
then
to
you're
double check
+2
that.
net.
That would be really interesting if it was armour as well. That'd be.
Which
that'd
means
be
with
powerful.
that, it's impossible to not get at least 2 hits.
Yeah, yeah.
And what does he do on 2? Push dodge?
Push dodge.
Well,
It could
it's
be
anyone
anyone,
can use
couldn't
it,
it?
and you can save that as well. I think it's sustained, so I think it only lasts until the end of the turn.
But you can really fuck someone's day up with that,
I'll
can't
have to
you?
check. As a token, it might stay, so we'll have to check that on the forums.
It might be like kind of Sunstrike. So like, if you hit someone, you don't necessarily have to take the momentum for that attack. So you could potentially hit them, knock them down,
Yeah.
then hit them again, and this time burn the token.
Yeah, it's a token, it's not a...
Yeah, so you choose
condition.
when you use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's interesting. And combining that with Lure of Gold, immediately I'm thinking Vet Catalyst. So you go in, you get the knockdown, you get the
What's the range
burden
on
token.
that? To...
Personal, so you can only...
I mean,
Lure
I was
Gold,
going for
6
Lure Gold,
inches.
6 inches.
So you get Lure of Gold to move someone into a charge position, then you hit them, knock them down, and give them a Lure token or a burden token.
Oh, good lord. And then Catalyst comes in and completely crunches them.
Potentially, yeah.
Okay, so then we get onto the back.
I've still got light-footed and unpredictable movement, which you had before.
Yeah.
Now it has a thing called showboating.
Yeah, this is where it gets a little bit
Yeah.
interesting, isn't it?
Costs 1 less momentum point to make teamwork actions. Now there are 3 teamwork actions. There are give and go.
What is
3.
4?
No,
No,
we have
we
3.
looked
Oh,
it
you
up.
checked.
We
Yeah,
got
3.
it wrong. So there's give and go and pass and move, which can give you or the person you pass to a 4-inch dodge.
Wait, would that work? So the one where you receive the ball and you make the teamwork action, that's going to be 1 less. But can you do that to someone else?
So it's effectively
It's on this model.
It's on this model. So
On
if
this
you
model.
pass the ball to him,
He
he
can
can
dodge, but the other player couldn't, could they?
But if he passes to the other player,
Yeah.
he can dodge.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's-
Okay.
it's
So
all
it depends on what way.
on what
But
way
only
it is.
he can do that.
Yeah. But also, it means snapshot now costs 1 instead of 2.
Yeah.
So if you can hit someone, pass the ball to him, get a snapshot, you know, you're more likely to have that extra point of momentum to bonus time, which is nice. And
then,
ideally, you've then got him kind of somewhere ready with super shot up.
Yeah, which puts him up 4-10 and then bonus
10,
time,
and then bonus
5-10.
5-10. But it's a snapshot, so you need 2 successes. So,
On 5 dice.
yeah.
Oh yeah, well that's a surprise. He is a striker, isn't he?
Yeah.
He is now.
Was he then?
No, he used to be a central midfielder.
Oh.
So they've now, both
Realised.
captains have come into adding something to the football game. Midas is now just completely bonkers for football.
Yeah.
And it's going to become a real problem if you look at every change. All the movement modifiers have gone. They've all become defence modifiers.
Yeah, it's true.
So shutting down the first turn goal is going to be incredibly hard in Season 3.
But it seems they've gone that way in that it's less about shutting your opponent down.
More about scoring
More
first.
about- well, in the same way they changed Shark Season 2.
Yeah.
You know, he had gut and string and it was like everyone got -8 move or whatever it was. Remember? And you could hit him and he'd get -4 move.
Yeah, you're like, what?
And then everyone would just be at you'd hit him 3 times, -4 move, -4 move, -4 move, legendary, they've all now got another -4, so everyone's at -8, and you're like, well, I'll just fucking get my coat then, I'll just not bother playing. And I think they've tried to stop that and more focus on like minus defence, which makes sense.
Okay, so his heroic play, Promise of Fortune.
Yeah.
So his heroic play is completely changed.
Yes,
Yeah.
it has.
This model may immediately make a 2-inch dodge, and gains 1 armour.
Yeah. So he can get out of combat now.
Or back in.
Or back in.
Or
yeah.
back in,
This was good.
and it gives him a point of armour.
And it gives him a point of armour. So his original one, I think you could choose, it was +1 damage, +1 armour, or +2/+2 move, right?
Correct, yes.
Was that what so now, you've effectively got
2 of them.
You've got 2 for the price of 1, because the +2/+2 is the same
Like
as
a 2-inch dodge, yeah.
and +1 armour. So that's good. But because you can do it whenever you want, as Stick and I were discussing, you could move in, get a hit in, get a dodge out,
So they waste their counter
so they
attack.
waste their counter attack,
And then you
if they've
do your
planned.
heroic.
And then you do your heroic, because with the momentum you
2-inch
just
dodge.
generate,
Yeah.
dodge in, and then you can
Carry
start
on
playing
hit.
on them.
Yeah. And then this is legendary.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely changed. This legendary was
The
ridiculous.
original legendary was so good.
Magnum Opus, is that?
Yeah.
What's it do?
When
Oh,
you score a
good
goal,
God, yeah, when he scores a goal.
when, not if.
When.
Everyone
Enemy?
within 4 inches suffers snared,
Oh, hello.
which is potentially really useful,
It's potentially bloody horrible.
especially if you're combining that with the other stuff like +2 net hits and all that.
But it's only when he scores. It's basically
And it's only once.
And it's only once. It's a legendary play,
yeah.
and depending on how you read the wording, when this model scores a goal, the enemy so it doesn't say. Well, I don't know. Arguably, like, do you, in the same way for casket time, you have to apply casket time before you start making the attacks.
Yeah.
So do you have to go, I'm going to take a shot on goal and I'm going to use my legendary?
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Of course, you have to declare anytime you're going to use a legendary before. You can't say, oh, but I didn't score. Never mind.
And then you lose it.
Yeah, I think that's got to be a reasonable one.
Well, it's I wonder if...
Let us know.
Yeah, let us know in the comments down below if you know better or worse. I think it's nice. I don't think it's a legendary compared to a lot of legendaries that are really powerful.
I don't know. Think about it this way. If you've scored a goal, they've got to kick out. All of their people are now snared around you.
Yeah.
So now they've got to
There's a
choose
chance
a
you can
place to kick
score.
out.
There's a chance you can score another goal
Yeah, exactly.
real quick after that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, potentially. I mean,
And
I'd have to see it on the
especially-
table,
yeah.
that's the thing.
And especially if he's already scored, he's already in range. They kick the ball out. They've got no one to move because of the you've
Snared,
snared them all up.
Well,
All right. So you just run someone in, grab the ball, pass it to Midas, snapshot, bomb.
Yeah. There is, or if they do have the ball for some reason,
But that's where I think
and then they're at -1 defence, you know, it's...
they've been incredibly clever. Almost all the changes are situational. Yeah, and I think they should be situational. There should never be a foolproof thing that you should do every time.
No.
Like you said with Catalyst, the old Catalyst, scything blow all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
That's boring, isn't it?
Yeah.
There should always be situations where I can actually do that. So that actually adds to your game experience and even your opponents.
Yeah.
I'd rather lose to something creative than hammer. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. Damage. Yeah. I mean, I'm really interested to see how a lot of this all plays out. Midas especially, because he's so very different. He's the most.
Oh, we have got Tapper as well. Did we want to just? Was there anything about him?
I think that his influence has changed now.
What the fuck is that? 4,
4,
5.
5.
Yeah, that's gone up because the cat doesn't count anymore, does it? For him.
And he can't use old Jakes on
himself.
anymore.
That's right.
Tapper's
That's
captain,
right.
isn't he?
Yeah, it's 2 influence between other friendly guild models.
Has anyone actually started using Tapper, or is he only in the big league at the moment?
No, he's about.
He's a normal captain. He's a normal captain for the Brewers.
Brewers, yeah.
Okay.
I just haven't seen a lot of him lately.
No, I haven't
It's
seen.
all Esther's, isn't it?
Everyone's Esther. But then she is fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say she's ridiculously overpowered. If you put in enough effort, you can take her out. She's a captain.
Yeah, but when she does her bloody, she gets her 3 things that she can do, each bloody turn, you're like, oh, I've just spent all this time getting conditions on you, getting you all wounded, and now you're just going to heal everybody. How about you fuck off, you tart? Go fucking sing elsewhere. Piss off my pitch.
She can be frustrating, but then I don't think I don't think on her own.
Oh, and Gladys Mass.
I see. For me, that
we don't know.
bother me.
We don't know what will happen in the future.
That's just it. So we've got another week and a half now. So there'll be another release on Friday.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
So by Steamcon, all the season 3 cards should be available.
I reckon.
No.
Oh, yeah, on Steamcon they will be available. I reckon we'll probably see about half of them, and I think they'll keep a certain few.
I'd be surprised if we see Obulus.
I don't think we will.
I don't think we're going to see any Morticians because they're going to do it just to fucking spite me.
I don't think we'll see Avarice and Greed.
No, I don't
think
think
really different.
I don't think you're going to see the new Hunter models either.
No.
No. I think we might get a glimpse of what's happening with the new guilds, perhaps.
Maybe.
For at Steamcon. Obviously, that's going to get filmed the balls out of it.
Yep.
Because we're not actually playing.
Patreons.
But we will be there to film everything
and
from the bar.
We will be playing games like friendly games. We won't be playing in any of the tournaments. We will be playing friendly games, getting all the new season 3 stuff. Because that's another thing as well. We're talking about characters or players. We're talking about the out of context of the whole team. Midas's card is relevant, dependent upon what happens to Vitriol and what happens to Catalyst.
I'm so waiting to see her.
I know. Well, yeah.
Maybe they'll cut off 2 of her legs.
Oh, it'd be lovely,
Maybe.
wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Well, just in the like that +2 net hits, say, then when you're working, I know obviously averages and you're working out dice and stuff, but when you're working out your averages of hitting and you say, well, actually, if I've got attack of 6, average I'm hitting a 4 1 model, average I'm getting 2 successes because I'll roll 3 successes but -1 for armour. So then all of a sudden you're looking at
4.
What's on that 4. And suddenly if they've got something on 4 that's really strong that they can't normally get but they will get because of that, that's how these things are going to change.
It also brings your mascot into play a little bit more.
+2 net hits on Flask suddenly.
Yeah. Well, exactly, because with only 3 tack, certain people with 2 armour, it's fucking pointless.
Yeah.
A mascot cannot hurt Blackheart on 3 attacks. Yeah, but with a net, with net 2, they might be able to do something you want them to do. Maybe push him.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Or even if it's a tackle or something that you can get definitely for whatever reason. Even in other ways you wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah. Like the people I would consider that kind of thing. I know it's not in my team, but the people that it would help with me would be Ygritte.
Yeah.
I want her to have the ball, but you've got it. I can't pass to her. But she only has 4 dice.
Yeah.
Attack. Yeah. On the charge that's 8. But if there are 4 and 1. The 2 net hits would ultimately give me the tackle for sure.
Yeah.
And then she's off.
Whoosh!
And a lot of it also depends on momentous results on the rest of the team as well, because his his teamwork actions become -1. Well, if you've got no momentum generation, then it doesn't matter because it still costs you more than one and you don't have any. Whereas if you've got a momentous tackle dodge, then suddenly that becomes really useful because you tackle dodge and then you make the pass and you can still get a
Did you
snapshot.
notice that every change, every character we've discussed has more momentum on their playbook now?
Yeah.
Every single one of them. Because I think that's how they're trying to balance out this the benefit of kicking or receiving.
Yeah.
Receiving the one momentum for going second is fine, but that's not
Do we
going
know if
to
that's a
change
definite?
anything.
That is a definite.
That is a definite,
thing.
isn't
Yeah,
it?
Yeah, that's not going to change anything, really. Not for the long-term
Ooh,
game.
I don't.
I can see me choosing to go second
Oh, yeah.
once in a blue moon, not a lot, but I can see me choosing to go second for having that 1 point of momentum, knowing that like if you've got the ball and I can't get to you, then I might as well go second.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I can't get
Because
the ball
then
off
you're
you,
gonna
you're gonna
you've got
take
a
a
point.
shot
Yeah.
and then I've got a point.
But
or
then
if you're gonna hit them, get a counter.
With all these new momentum generations, I think the momentum race is going to be far more interesting.
Oh yeah.
Because now it seems like everyone can drum up loads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all of the people we looked at kind of feel a little bit more like Rage.
Yeah.
Because he kicks out so much momentum. And it looks like you've now got choices. Damage, conditions, or quite a bucket load of momentum available.
I wonder if this is one of the things that I say concerns me, but it's as an alchemist player, you know, those conditions are now that much more easy to get rid of. If you've got more momentum, you're more likely to get rid of them, and that's why snared. I was like, snared's good, but it's just another condition that people can get rid of. It's not a trait or a something, you know, that you can't get rid of till the end of the turn. And I think it's like, oh. Because I was actually seeing a really interesting discussion. Someone was saying that they don't put lots of conditions on people because then the decision to get rid of it isn't a decision. You just get rid of it. If someone's burning, if someone's poison, if someone's burning and poison, you get rid of it. And it's like, and I wonder if that's a. If you had snared on that as well as burning, you just go right. I'll get rid of it and then I'll get on with my day. And you're like, oh well. And I know you've made you spend a momentum point. But if you're generating more momentum, it then becomes less of a valuable thing.
True. But then that also forces the alchemists to consider their conditions they're dumping, dump them on the last turn.
Yeah.
Go second.
Oh yeah.
Last activation.
Yeah.
Dump a bucket load of conditions.
Yeah.
And
then that's
Smoke's legendary.
Yeah.
And that's actually now you say that, I wonder if because of the decision about going first is more difficult because of that point of momentum, does that then make the decision to go last more important? Because normally you're just automatically thinking, I'll go first. Whereas then I'm thinking, well, if I'll get that point of momentum and I'll go last.
But that's only because a lot of the time you're looking at it, you've spent the whole last turn lining things up.
Yeah.
If I go first, I could do this.
Yeah,
so you want to go first. Yeah? Whereas now, because they've reduced so much movement, stopping goal scorers is going to be incredibly hard.
Yeah.
So going second may not be the end of the world. Because they're probably going to score no matter what you do. You go first, I'm assuming they're probably going to change gut and string as well.
Possibly, yeah.
Probably.
So like shutting people down and stopping them scoring, probably not going to happen. Alright, I can't stop you scoring. So if I go second, I get that momentum, then I can react to what you do. Yeah, so it gives you the chance to have a reaction. I kind of don't like the fact that they're removing all the movement restrictions. Because I think some of there needs to be some movement reduction.
I think snared is now more available because of Minks.
Yeah,
So
snared's more available.
And burning still reduces.
Burning's still there.
But then clearing conditions is now so easy. Whereas the gut and string, blind, all these character plays could not be removed.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing we haven't actually touched on. What about the things we haven't seen? And I don't just mean individual players, but things that are available to more than one player, like gut and string, like blind. We haven't seen how they're going to change it. And I wonder if they're intentionally not releasing certain characters because of the implications further down the line.
Yeah,
that's right.
Probably exactly right. But we'll find that next week, won't we?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to just getting down there, playing some games, picking up that Rage model. Oh, it's so good!
I've got to get one of them little pin badges for Jane.
Have you?
Yeah, she
What
wants.
one do
She
you want?
wants the one with the dog.
Oh, what princess?
I'm like, that's a
That one.
butcher's one. She went, yeah, well, has he got a dog? And I'm like,
It's cute. Some of them I really like actually. I shouldn't like it, and I'm looking at them going, but it's just a badge. Well, it's so cute. I really like Ox because Ox is all and the dog's all but they're kind of like anime. You know.
Well, hopefully that was a insight for you on our thoughts
Yeah.
on the new stuff. That sounded like someone knocking on the door. So I'm going to say goodbye. Well, this lot say goodbye.
And we will sign off. Yeah, let us know what you think in the comments down below. If you've got any thoughts, if you've got any discussions, try and keep this going, and we'll be involved and saying how things are going to go. Do you feel happy about the changes to the hunters that you've seen? Or?
The changes to the bear?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's a different kind of player now, and I'm looking forward to seeing what else comes out in the hunters.
Yeah.
Because I know they have 8 players, but they're relatively restrictive at the moment. But they're going to get a nice change. But what I would say is, if you know the answer to the net 2 hits, let us know.
Yeah. That's the thing.
Does it happen after the armor, or is the armor going to reduce it?
Yeah, we will immediately check in the book and go, aha, probably. But if you know better, then it's handy.
Exactly. So,
as always, don't forget to like and subscribe if you liked it and want to subscribe. If you don't like it, don't want to subscribe, don't like and subscribe. If you do like it and do want to subscribe, don't forget to like and subscribe. We would like it if you subscribed.
and remember, there's that little information thing up here which Parker keeps working out.
If you do want to help us keep growing the channel, we'd appreciate it. We've got a Patreon account, so if you would think, hey, I'd buy those guys a pint, think about that.
And why wouldn't you?
And why wouldn't you? Then you can do that in the top corner. We'd appreciate it. Thank you. It all goes towards stuff, because we're going to Steamcon and we wouldn't have been able to do that if it wasn't for our Patreons. And we're going to be doing a lot of recording, a lot of filming, interviews, filming the keynote speeches, stuff like that. So thanks, guys.
I'm not. I'm going to sit in the bar.
Well, I'll be doing all that stuff, but I'll probably be doing it drunk.
Yay! No change to normal.
And
until next time.
Stay wanking.
Oh, it's not wanking, it's Howard.
I think I can do that.